Hey, what is going on the YouTube? This is Robert, and today I'm bringing you to the full drop list for this week, which is week 2 of the Spring/Summer 20 season. Now the list has changed quite a lot over like the last 10 or 12 hours. It was a massive list at the beginning, and now it's not so much. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into that. So Drops by Jay put out that obviously the list is now complete. The list was complete as far as we knew yesterday, however there have been some changes like I said to it. And yeah, we've now got a couple of items removed from it, and it's a bit of a different list, but there's still a lot coming out that's great. It's just that one of the pieces that I was hoping that would possibly go under the radar might not anymore. One of the things that I obviously have to include is obviously the news of the Air Force One lows that are releasing. The main thing that I just want to focus on or highlight is the fact that it says the Air Force One low will be restocked regularly throughout seasons. That doesn't say seasons, so these are just going to be a just regular occurrence from now on that we are going to get. But other than that, let's just get straight into the list and kick things off with obviously the Air Force One low. Now personally for me, I don't wear Air Forces, they're not really my sort of thing, as you probably can tell, but out of the two I'm just going to say the white is the best one, or the white colourway. Just looks better with the logo on it. There's not really much to go on apart from that. I mean, the laces are a cool thing, so if you want to buy a pair of these and then just leave them with the standard laces that they have, and then you can take the laces that come with them and put them on other things that you wear, then you can do that. But yeah, a lot of people thought these are going to resell, and they possibly will do within the first week for sure. People probably want either the smaller sizes or the larger sizes, or like the personal pairs. But when it comes around to the time of them restocking, you're not really going to see any massive profit at that point. But 100% they're probably going to be people like doing pre-orders and getting everything like pre-sold and done like instantly. Next up we have the transparent lock, which I saw a lot of people actually want. It just depends on the price of it in the end, because at first I was seeing places say like $20, but then I've seen others put like $48 and things like that. So I think it's best just to wait and see with this piece, but I think it looks cool seeing the inside of a lock, you know, but I'm probably not going to buy it. Next up we have one of the more hyped pieces of the week, being the Underlined Crewneck. Now personally for me, I wasn't really a massive fan of this when I looked at the lookbook or preview. It didn't really hit as anything special for me personally, because it is just the normal Supreme font, just with it being underlined. With that, a lot of people said it was a bit of like a Supreme Italia type of piece, or Supreme Spain type of piece. But yeah, it doesn't really do a lot for me. If I was going to say any of the colorways, I'd probably say like the pinky peach color and then the grey colorway are probably the best two. But apart from that, I'm sure that a majority of them, if not all of them, will end up selling out. Next up, we have the Stars Incense Burner. Yeah, it's an incense burner. That's just about it. It's got some cool details to it, obviously, and they also use magnets to close it, or for it to like seal, which is pretty cool because you see them, they're just there and there. The last time they did this, I believe, was in 2009 or so. It might have been just before that, but yeah, I believe it was 2009 when they released the last burner, which I don't know if my brother still has or not. If he does, it'd be great, like, if I could take that off of him or get that off of him, but I don't know. Following that, we've got the City Lights Puffy jacket, which again, I had a bit of a mixed opinion on during the lookbook. I think obviously with it being the picture and everything of New York, if I'm wrong on that, then I'll just look like an idiot. But with it being this sort of bird's eye view of it and everything, I think it looks quite cool. I think in the black colorway over the violet or purple colorway, it looks a lot better, and it just comes off a bit more clean. But with it having this sort of blurred look to it, it sort of took away from it for me personally. But still, I think it is a nice piece. A lot of people want it, like a ton I've just seen saying that they want it. So yeah, it's probably going to be one of those pieces that will sell quite easily, or sell out quite easily. And if people hold on to it till like winter time or so, it's definitely going to be one of those pieces that will go up in price over time. Next up, we have the XXL Hoodie. Yeah, this is another piece that I saw people say during the lookbook preview time that they liked, and they just liked when they saw the leaks of it and everything. Personally for me, I think that the best colorway out of it is just this navy color. A lot of people liked it, and yeah, there isn't a ton to say about it. I was a bit of a fan of it as well, but a majority of the colorways don't really hit for me personally. I do just think that the navy is the best one that just pops out, but it'll probably end up being like the last one to sell out in the end, knowing my luck of like guessing and predicting things. We then have two color blocked pieces, or a color blocked set, I guess is the way to put it. We have a sweatpant and then we have the zip up hoodie. Personally for me, the sweatpant is a lot better than the hoodie because I'm not really a fan of zip up pieces. They just, I don't know, I can't really wear them. I've got like 3 or 4 zip up like hoodies and I just don't really like the feel to them. In terms of how like just comfortable it is, it just doesn't do it for me. So yeah, in this case, I'm going to say that the sweatpant is a lot better than the hoodie, and personally I think that the blue or like royal sort of colour with this teal here looks great. Obviously you have the standard black on black as well that's coming out, and then the grey with the red, but I just think that this blue just really pops. The same possibly could be said about the hoodies, but I think it's a bit difficult, and that probably the grey pops a bit better in the hoodie in comparison to this, because it just looks out of place with all this green on it. We then have the field camp cap that is coming out. Personally for me, I just think that the colourway with the sort of wood sort of texture to it just looks best. The others aren't bad, but I think that the wood sort of texture look is just the best one. Also this like light green olive sort of colour, not really olive, but yeah, colour is also decent. To then match the jacket, we have the Rayon Shirt. Again, a lot of people said that they wanted this piece, so we'll just have to see how it does in the end. Rayon shirts are either hit or miss with Supreme. Sometimes they do really decent numbers, sometimes they just do terribly, and it just happens basically, and that's it. To match the crew neck, we then have the 5-panel, which just gives complete Supreme Italia vibes. Like, it just doesn't look great at all. I think that the royal or the blue colour looks okay with it, but the rest just don't help it at all. We then have the canvas hooded work jacket. This piece I was actually okay with, but it is just a bit plain, I guess, in the end. It does have an embroidered patch, which is on the sleeve there, and then obviously you've got Supreme on the chest as well that's embroidered. But yeah, overall, again, I think that just the piece that just stands out a bit more is the better one. I also do like the red colourway because I think red just looks clean in pieces like this, but yeah. Now we're getting into the bottom of the list, which I actually think has some pieces that people liked and hit quite well, but they seem to have just a ton of dislikes. To kick things off, we have the Sevens rugby piece, which I saw a lot of people say that they wanted, and that the design and layout was decent. Personally, I agree with that. I think that the amount of, I'm pretty sure this has to be embroidered, or I hope it's embroidered, but the amount of embroidery that goes into it is really cool. It says world famous on the neck. Then you've got Supreme, New York, you've got Kanji, I believe it is. If I'm wrong, correct me, and then Sevens. I think that this colorway is the better one over the more vibrant one. I think the vibrant one's nice too, but I just think that the darker tones work better with this. We then have the Drama Mask Fleece jacket, which I am going to be attempting to go for this week. There are 3 colorways coming out in it, and I think that fleece jackets in general, they don't release a ton of them. I think there was one in 2016, there was the wolf piece, there was the bandana reversible one. I think there's one more, but that's about it. So there are like 4-ish, maybe 5 or 6, give or take, that they've ever released. So personally for me, when they release one, the opportunity to get one is just a good thing to do. Out of the colorways though, if I was going to rank them, I'd probably say that the black is just ahead of the pink by just a small amount. And then obviously it goes pink then green. The reason for this is just because the pure fact that the back graphic works better on black personally, with the grey and the sort of white shade. It just looks like the saturation's been taken away from it and the red stands out a lot more. Whereas in comparison, green with this brown, it just looks like the plants died, and yeah, it doesn't do a lot for me. The pink still looks nice, but I just think that the black works a lot better with it, so that's why I'm probably be going for black large. Whether or not it's for a personal is another thing. I've seen a ton of retails everywhere as well, from $198 to $298. I hope it's the lower one, because then I would happily go for this. But yeah, we'll just have to wait on that. We then have the Spell Out short sleeve top. I saw people say that pretty much just this colorway was the one that they liked in this. It's not really a piece that I'm a fan of personally. I mean, I understand having Supreme everywhere on it is great and all, but yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me. For the last 3, we have the Fade Stripe long sleeve top. Yeah, I mean, it's got an embroidered logo, I think, so there's a positive. With it being a top, it's probably going to be a premium price between £56 to £78. So yeah. We then have the logo repeat beanie, which is not one of the beanies that is on my list. Last week they actually released 2 beanies that were on my list, but I didn't go for the New York one in the end. I went for the overdyed. My orders arrived today, but I'll probably be unboxing them tomorrow. Last on the list is the Intelligence 6 panel, which does nothing for me, but the embroidery is cool and all. So that is going to cover this list. Let me know down below what you think of this week, what you're going to be going for, what you'll try for the personal, whether or not you're going to try and resell something. Personally, the Incense burner plus the Fleece are what I'm going to be aiming for. There would be the possibility of the rugby, but I know that their retails can be high, so I think I will leave that alone. But yeah, that is going to cover it. It is still a decent week, even without the Motion logo and 1 or 2 of the other pieces that we're going to release. It's still a great week, nevertheless, and it's definitely worth going for. And I think that it's actually possibly could be a little bit better in the long run than week 1, but that might be me just throwing like a curveball with that one. But yeah, that is going to cover this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, it'd like to be much appreciated. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow for the unboxing. Peace.